Okay, fellow Vikings, we all know leveling up blood magic is a pain. So what is actually the best way to farm it in Valheim? And more importantly, is the farm you already have still the best one? Instead of trusting just one guide, I went down the rabbit hole and tested every major blood magic farm I could find. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly which farm is the best for your situation. Here's my full tier list. To rank everything, I used Jerichoola's DPS mod to measure the skill point gain per minute and tested every farm for at least 30 minutes straight to get a proper comparison. But I didn't just rank them by time. I also looked at materials gain, setup time, whether the farm is active or not, and how reliable it is. Some of the farms are still great, even if not the fastest, depending on where you are in the game and what you need. So, with that in mind, let's find the one that works best for you, ranked from D to S. Let's start with the farms I honestly wouldn't recommend unless you specifically need what they offer. The bone mass farm suggested in the Valheim wiki is one of those methods that sound better on paper than it feels in practice. The main problem is that bone mass constantly spawns ads, and your skeletons just love getting distracted. Instead of doing their job, they suddenly decide that that blob over there is apparently the real problem. So you end up babysitting the whole thing. Now, if you want to actively play, it's not terrible. The Draugr farm has very similar issues. Aggro can be inconsistent, the mob types vary, which can cause problems, and the returns just aren't worth the effort for me. If you actively play it and stay on top of things, it can reach B tier performance in terms of XP gain. But as an AFK farm, it's simply too unreliable and therefore D tier. Yes, you also get entrails, but unless you're opening an industrial sausage factory, I don't really see the appeal. I also tried to make a surtling farm work, but due to the low spawn rate of the surtlings, this farm is not useful as an AFK farm. It does some work if you use it as hybrid, like I've done during my tests. You have your skeletons damaging spawning mobs while you are standing in the fire constantly recasting your blood shield. But this is definitely D tier because it is extremely slow and honestly incredibly boring. If you need cause or coal, sure, otherwise, let's move on. C tier. Let me put it this way. This is not really a blood magic farm. This is a resource farm that happens to level blood magic on the side. And for that reason, I still think it deserves respect. The SP gain is really low, but the number of useful materials you get while AFK is fantastic. Wood, stone, resin, dandelions for your chickens. This thing basically pays rent. So if you're still actively progressing and need materials anyway, this is still worth building. Just make sure your skeletons do not destroy the nest, because if that happens, the farm is gone. And so is your mood. B tier. The Elder farm is, in my opinion, the best active method on the list. It doesn't need a complicated setup or fancy build. Just ancient seeds, skeletons, shields, and an infinite summon loop. This one is great if you want to play the game while leveling blood magic. The hybrid setup, combining Elder runs with a Grey Dwarf resource farm, is also a really nice middle ground. It is not the fastest, but very practical, and you're good even if you only have a level 1 Dead Razor. Therefore, it's a great choice for your first 10 to 20 points in blood magic. A tier. This is a farm I found on a small channel. Sorry, the name is unpronounceable to me. When I first tested this, I thought I had found my S tier winner. The setup is ridiculously simple and needs little build time without any higher tier materials. And the SP gain is excellent. You can get to level 60 plus in roughly 2 hours and reach level 100 in around 5. But unfortunately, the setup might break as soon as you use it with more skeletons and on higher blood magic levels. Now, to be fair, this is very easy to repair, and if you pay any attention in between, you can easily do quick repairs. But that's exactly the difference between this farm and our S tier. S tier. In the end, the winner is Croneduster's Blob and Twig farm. The SP gain is roughly on par with the Grayling setup. In one of my test runs, I finished leveling from 0 to 100 in around 4.5 hours. But the real reason this gets S tier is reliability. The setup might require some farming and also in-game progression. Amongst the usual stone and wood, you need enough ectoplasm as well as blob bombs. And you need a Dead Razor level 4, which you only can get once you've reached the Ashlands. It still works with less skeletons, but will yield lesser skill points per hour. This farm never broke during multiple hour-long tests. And because I built a proper safe area around it, complete with the throne, this is the one I actually trust. If I'm AFK farming, I'm doing it like a queen. If you want the best overall farm, this is it. But before you run off and build one of these farms, let me quickly save you from a couple of headaches and questions I ran into while testing. And the most common reasons a farm stops working the way it should. First, skeleton count. More skeletons can mean more SP, but only if the farm is designed for it. Some setups work fine with 2, others really shine at 4. If your numbers don't match what you expected, that's the first thing to check. Second, the rested buff. The wiki says blood magic doesn't benefit from it, and my own 30 minutes tests confirmed that. Rested or not, the SP gain was basically identical. So stay rested for your stamina and ITER region, especially for active farms, but don't build your setup around the idea that it boosts your XP. Third, difficulty. Higher difficulty doesn't increase SP per hit, but it does change how skeletons move and interact with tighter builds. If something feels off, adjust the build or swap difficulties. Now, if your farm still isn't working, here's what's usually going wrong. Your skeletons are idling. Either you've wandered too far, stay within roughly 20 meters, or something outside the farm has caught their attention. A harpoon with friendly fire enabled is surprisingly good at re-engaging them. And if you're going AFK, build a structure around your farm to block outside threats. Wrong companion type. Most farms need either archers or melee, not both. Use a butcher's knife and resummon until you get what you need. Running out of ITER. On active farms, every missed cast is lost SP. Eat proper food and bring lingering ITER meats. If none of this solves your problem, drop a comment and I'll do my best to help. No matter which method you use or prefer, skilling blood magic takes time and effort. I hope this video has helped you to find the way to level up that works for you. Which of these methods have you tried already? Is there something that I've missed? Let me know in the comments. And if you wonder about other game mechanics, for example, why your armor isn't saving you, watch this one next. Thanks for watching, and I see you in the next one. Skål!